Boom.
Week 5 gives us a classic AFC matchup for Thursday Night Football. It's Colts-Pats, and I got Tyler from DFI give us all the rundown for the Millionaire Slate. Tyler, do you remember these old Peyton Manning, Tom Brady wars? You're a young guy. You remember those wars?
Of course, always a great treat to see Manning in New England lose every single time he had
Oh
to
my
go up
God.
there.
And he's a savage. Oh my
Oh, I
God.
know.
But Andrew Luck, I think, can eventually. This is a transition point for the Colts franchise. I understand that they're a 10-point dog Thursday night, but the Patriots, they're hurt. They're not back to their full form. Do you think Luck could catch these guys on an upset? Because I think he's been getting better, regardless of what people have been saying.
No, I completely agree. I mean, he's looked better every week. The shoulder looks healthy. I think the biggest thing in this game is going to be the addition of weapons to the Patriots offense and the subtraction to the Colts offense.
Yeah.
I mean, T.Y. Hilton's really by far the biggest weapon that Luck has. And with him missing this game, he doesn't have many options. And then Brady's going to get his one of his favorite targets back in Edelman. So I think that, we might start to see the Patriots get into that, Patriots form that we've always expected from them year in and year out.
Well, how about this edition? You get 8 questions right, you win $1 million. Does that sound like good addition to you?
That sounds amazing.
All right. Well, let's do that edition in this edition of our Thursday Night Football preview. Question 1, keeping it simple, most passing yards, Andrew Luck or Tom Brady. And Ty, I think this one could come down to game script. What do you think about question 1?
I agree. I think that it could end up coming down to the game script. However, I think what we've seen what Belichick wants to do, and we saw it last week, is he wants to get out ahead early. So I think Brady is going to be a huge part of that. As we just discussed, he's got Edelman back this week. So I think that's going to be huge for him and what he likes to do. So I think in this matchup with Hilton out and Edelman back, I think we have to go with Brady having more passing yards tomorrow night.
I'm going to go with Brady too, and I think it's what you said in the opening of the video. It's T.Y. Hilton. It's less about what Brady's doing because the Patriots are always going to be fine. Brady's always going to get his, but Andrew Luck can't be missing his best weapon, T.Y. Hilton, and his best friend, Jack Doyle. The Colts are just down too many weapons at this point, and going in shorthanded against a Belichick defense on a short week, which also matters, is one of the toughest things you can do. Question 2 is most rushing yards, and this one could get tricky because we have committees on both teams. It is Sony Michel, James White, Jordan Wilkins, and Nyheim Hines. I actually like Hines, but not as a rusher. What do you got for this question, Ty?
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen with Belichick in the past, you never know what he's going to do with the running backs. Michel ran for over 100 yards last week, but obviously you don't know. We don't know how Belichick's going to end up using them, but I think out of those 4 options, it's going to have to be Michel. Like we talked about the game script, if the Patriots get up early, which the large spread in the game indicates they very well may, looks like Michel is probably the guy who is going to be pounding the rock for the Patriots. So I think that he's got a very good chance to rack up some yards tomorrow night.
You know who had a big game against the Colts as a Patriot, Ty?
Who?
Jonas Gray.
Yes.
So
that's
the leading rusher of this game may not even be in this contest. He may currently be
name.
working at a Modell's or doing stand-up comedy like Jonas Gray. We may never know, and he might be his only NFL game. I'm going to go with Michel here. I think this is the Sony Michel breakout game that we've been waiting for. James White has had his elevated role in the offense without Edelman, but I think with a full complement of weapons, James White can go back to his situational pass catcher third down role, and Michel can evolve as an every down back. I like the Colts run defense, just not in this matchup.
I agree.
Question 3 is most receiving yards, and it's not who you might think. The A bet is Philip Dorsett, followed by Ryan Grant, Chester Rogers, and Josh Gordon. Now, Ty, I know you're a little noob to boom. The D bet is the least likely occurrence, but do you like Josh Gordon on Thursday night?
I love Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. I mean, the guy's talent is unreal. Obviously it's been a couple of years since he had that gigantic season, but if there's anybody that's going to figure out a way to get him to his full potential, it's going to be Belichick and him playing with Brady. As far as those 4 guys go, I actually really like Ryan Grant. He's got a good matchup against Gilmore tomorrow night, which I know sounding those 2 names, Ryan Grant and Stephon Gilmore, you may not think that matchup advantage would go to Ryan Grant, but Gilmore has given up a ton of yards and a ton of completion so far this year. Mainly because he's getting targeted because Jason McCourty has the other side locked down. And Gilmore's the guy that Grant's supposed to match up with. So I think that he has a chance to catch some balls tomorrow night without T.Y. Hilton.
I love this. Again, there's less weapons on Indianapolis, so we want the pass funnel of the Colts as our targets for these types of questions. And Ryan Grant is going to get an elevated role in this offense. He's going to get his chance to be the guy, and he's already been getting red zone looks, which I like. He's building good rapport with Luck, and I just don't see any outright playmakers in this group. So I'm going to go with Grant, who I think can get the most opportunities. I think that he can realistically hit 12 targets in this group, which I don't think anybody else can approach. Question 4 is most receptions, and I like this one. It is James White, Nyheim Hines, Rob Gronkowski, and Eric Ebron. It's a most receptions question with 0 wide receivers, and in my opinion, it is wide open. So what do you like here, Ty?
This might be the hardest question I've seen. It's like we said earlier with James White. I think he's going to see less targets this week with Edelman back. So I think I'm going to have to go with Ebron. I mean, he's seen a ton of targets even when Doyle and Hilton have been healthy. And I think as the main theme has been, Colts' lack of weapons, got to go with the guys that are healthy. So I'm taking Ebron.
This is the 3rd week in a row I'm going to wait for Eric Ebron to be a thing, right? I tried to talk myself off of Ebron early in the season. And then when he was splitting looks with Jack Doyle, he was catching touchdowns. Now he's the only show in town. He's a lock for double-digit targets, and he's not producing. It is one of the most Eric Ebron things that has happened in the history of Eric Ebroning. That being said, I'm going to take him in this one. I think his target ceiling is much higher than the 2 running backs. And honestly, there's no need to play Gronk in this game. It's just not necessary.
No.
Question 5 is total touchdowns. Interested to hear your thoughts here, Nick. The A-bet's Eric Ebron, followed by Philip Dorsett, Chris Hogan, and Ryan Grant. For total touchdowns, 1 might be enough to win this question, right?
Yeah, I mean, with those options, there's a lot of other weapons. So I think that, we could very well see only one of these guys catch a touchdown. From those guys, again, going to have to go with Ebron. He's caught 3 so far on the year, and the game where he didn't was against Philadelphia, in which he dropped 2 touchdowns. And
exactly.
Cost me a lot of money on DraftKings. But
I don't know what that is.
He's clearly one of Luck's favorite targets near the red zone. So he's going to get a ton of opportunities to score tomorrow.
Hey, Ty, do you know what Chris Hogan's nickname used to be?
7-Eleven, because he's always open.
That's right. Do you know what his nickname is now? McDonald's ice cream machine, because he's never working. He's never around. I like him to score because we're counting him out the most. Now we have a full complement of weapons. Chris Hogan has never been anyone's number 1 receiver. He's never been anyone's attack lacrosse player. Did you know Chris Hogan played lacrosse?
I did.
Oh, yeah, we got one. Okay, so Chris Hogan is now back to being the red zone threat that he could be with the heat off of him. Edelman's the number 1. The Colts be like, we got to stop Edelman. We got to put Malik Hooker on Gronk. And here comes Hogan's surprise tote. You won't believe it until it happens. All right, Ty, it's question 6. Time to get weird on you. Never seen anything like this before. It is most passing touchdowns or made field goals. Tom Brady, Andrew Luck, Adam Vinatieri, or Steven Gostkowski. We got beast kickers in this one too. This contest is no joke. So who do you like in question 6?
This is a really tough one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Brady could break this one in the first quarter.
But he's not going to golf us.
No, I sure hope not.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to go with Gostkowski with the field goals.
Hell yeah.
I think if Gronk doesn't play, it could lead to some issues in the red zone. So I think there's a good chance that it's going to be a field goal game.
So one fantasy strategy that I think is underutilized is streaming kickers against the Patriots, because their strategy is to bend, not break. That's always been what they want to do. They want you to get 3s, and they're going to beat you with 7s. And I like Vinatieri here, not like a Vinatieri revenge game kind of way, but I do think that the Colts will be able to move the ball. The Pats defense is a little soft. Andrew Luck is wild efficient, running an offense built for him, and I think they're going to get opportunities in that 35 to 45-yard range. Vinatieri could knock 4 down. Belichick doesn't care. Ty, you having fun so far?
Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun.
All right, great. The fun is about to stop. It's time to get serious. It's time for lightning questions, okay?
Receiving
it's
yards.
Very real. I need the exact receiving yards of Ryan Grant, okay? So whatever fun you were having, it's over. We need to buckle down. What do you say here?
Like we were saying earlier, I think Grant's going to be a big factor in the Colts offense this week with Hilton out. So I believe his average on the year is in the high 40s. So I'm actually going to go a little bit higher than that, and I'm going to say 68 receiving yards.
I love that because with T.Y. Hilton banged up against Houston, Grant finished with 64 receiving yards on 7 targets. So that's kind of where we're at. And I'm willing to bump that target share up a little bit. So I'm going to go with 78 just because instead of 7, I think he'll see 9 targets. He's not great with the ball in his hands. He's very basic receiver. Like, I think he's talented. I think he's a good athlete. He's a great route runner, but he's not like an explosive OBJ, catch a slant and go kind of guy. So I think that Luck can deliver him the ball and he'll accumulate yards, but I don't expect any game-breaking nights. So I'm sticking with 78. All right, last question stands between you and $1 million. You ready, bud?
I'm ready.
All right, Philip Dorsett, reduced role with Edelman back, but now we need his exact receiving yards. So what do you got for me?
Just like Vinatieri, we got a revenge game here.
Yeah, that's true.
I think personally he's going to show the Colts that they gave up on him a little bit too early. He's a big play receiver, so it only takes a couple chunks. So I'm going to go with 75 receiving yards for Philip Dorsett.
I like that. I like the revenge game is only 70 yards. And that would be right in line where he's at this season because he's had 66 yards. He's had 55 yards. He's had 54 yards. And all those were not in a row. And there was a 0 mixed in. But I just think it's ironic. So I'm going to hit him for 77. And that is analytics data. You like it?
I love it.
Yeah, boy. There it is, Ty. 8 questions later, you're a millionaire. How's it feel?
Feels amazing. Can't wait to spend it all.
What are you going to spend it on?
I'm not sure. Probably pay off college loans.
Oh, that's not going to get you there.
No, probably not. It'll take at least half of it out, though.
Well, thanks for popping in. Give Ty a follow on Twitter, repping Daily Fantasy Insider. She's doing great work for them over there. And as you can tell, he's a young guy. He's got a bright future in the industry. And we'll see you on Sunday for some more football action, all right?
Got it. Good luck this weekend.